As you may know, I launched a Patreon page, but it was about 40 days ago that I started, and I made a series of short 1-minute videos airing my thoughts and speculating on what it should look like. So I thought I'd run them all together and for a kind of review. Okay, picture yourself as a Patreon subscriber. You're on my Patreon subscription list, and I greet you in the morning with my daily anecdote. Today I got my blank game board for the next stage of designing my Emeralda games. I bought one of these before and it worked out really well. You might wonder, why would anybody buy a blank game board? Well, maybe in the ensuing time I'll be able to show you how I can cover this game board with my own design. Great fun. I recommend it highly. Invent your own game. You know, ever since I left college teaching printmaking, I wanted to continue sharing the joys of printmaking. Now we have a new way to do that, and it's called Patreon, a subscription platform where you sign up and I will share with you the things that I do on video, in books, in hardware, prints, almost anything that comes to our mind if you give me feedback. I started out, you know, with the mini half-wood press. Then I made the printmaker's chest, which is like a teacher in a box. And then I designed and we built the wee Woody Rembrandt press. These are projects I'd love to continue sharing and building, maybe as a team of people who are on my Patreon subscription platform. So give it some thought. Thanks for watching. This is what I would like to know. If you could come into the Mini Art Gallery and talk with me, what is it around here that might pique your curiosity? Would it be the printmaker's chest or the teachers in a box? Would it be the wee Woody Rembrandt press or this linoleum cut or those things that look like they came from a grocery store? If I start a Patreon page, what would you like it to be? How would you find it useful? Would you subscribe? Please let me know. This is my idea for a Patreon page. You subscribe to my Patreon page. These days, when people can't come to the Mini Art Gallery, they can at least look at a YouTube video and scan any of my images on the wall. And then using the clip device on the desktop, clip that image, make it into a JPEG, send it to me as an email, and then I tell you the story. In other words, like saying, what is it? Then I make an artist stamp. Artist stamps in my collection all have a story. All these stamps have stories to go with them. This way we can build a new stamp collection. Let's try that. Subscribe to my Patreon page and we'll give it a go. There are several steps to get involved with my Patreon page. The subscribers have to sign up. They have to enroll for $5 per person. And then we proceed toward some kind of a game-like approach where, for example, you clip an image from one of my YouTube videos and you mail it to me by email and we take it from there. Another approach is that I can make postage stamp, that is artist stamps, and send you one of the postcards that I have in my deck. So give it some thought. And if you have questions, send me your questions. Thank you. You know, Patreon was invented by musicians. I'm in the printmaking world, and I believe that printmaking and music are similar because in printmaking, we make a plate and then we print it, we try it out, we practice, and we print it again and again and again. Musicians have a score sheet or a musical score, or they improvise, but they practice again and again and again, and then they perform. So as I build my Patreon page, I have to really think about the connection. So thanks for watching. We'll see how it develops. Send me your questions. Well, here it is. I've been to my favorite printer, FedEx Kinko's, and I got my first part of my board game ready to cut out and glue on. Good morning. When you invest in my Patreon page, what you get for your investment is a visit to the Mini Art Gallery here in Seattle and a chat by means of computers or email or messenger, whatever, and possibly talk about what is happening and what these artworks in this gallery are about. This morning, for example, I had an experience where I found an essay from 2003 about a black widow in this box, this artwork I call Stone Phone. And it led to several interesting encounters. That's the kind of thing I would tell you about if you invest in my Patreon page. For about 2 or 3 weeks now, we've been trying to think what to call my Patreon subscription program. Patreon itself was invented by a musician and put together by an engineer. So since musicians and printmakers share something in common, they work from a score, I work from a play. They play it over and over again, I print over and over again. So a Patreon game by me should have something to do with printmaking. On the other hand, I like games, and printmaking is a kind of a game. Help me think of a name for this. Send me your ideas based on what you, the subscriber, potential subscriber, want and need. Ask me your questions, send me your advice. In my novel, Rembrandt's Secrets, the housekeeper finds a camera in his printmaker's chest. This is a time traveler. He's back in the 17th century. And I wonder what would happen if she took a picture and then the time traveler brought it back. That was a great story I enjoyed telling. Today I'm thinking, what if someone came in my gallery and went around and took a picture of every one of these things that are lying about and then owned them? But wait a minute, what if people don't want to own the artworks? They just want the stories or the secrets behind these artworks, like finding out what the secrets are in the novel. And if they owned all or part of the work, then they would know the secret behind that art. There's always something new when I come into the Mini Art Gallery. Sometimes it's to discover that my lights have burned out. So if you want to keep the lights on in the Mini Art Gallery, sign up for Patreon. What I will do for you then is I can give you Mini Art Gallery tours, and I can focus on any of the artworks that you see on the walls and also things that you don't see. For example, things that are inside of my my magazines and my books that we have on the bookshelf in our shop. For a basic fee, you sign it at a basic level, and you then go on to an exclusive list. No one else sees this on Facebook, for example, and then you can actually photograph and own part or all of these artworks. They'll keep the lights on. Let me describe to you a way that we can keep the lights on in the art galleries. A long time ago, a man put wired music in elevators. That became Muzak. He named it after Kodak. In other words, it was music that was as casual as a Kodak camera. The idea of Patreon now is that you can go into artist galleries like mine and you can click on anything that you see. Now there will be a lot of videos that scan around the gallery and you can click on those and own them. But as casually and for as little as a monthly subscription fee, you can become part of that art gallery virtually. I want it to be known that I invented VISAC. VISAC, spelled V-I-S-A-C, stands for Visual Artists Casual. And it's a way I'm inventing so that you could come into my gallery, or if it flies, anyone's gallery or museum, and look around at what's on the wall, take a snapshot of it in a sense using the desktop utilities for clicking and saving JPEGs, mail it to me, and then I address your questions if you have them, or you can buy it. All of this is contained in my Artist Script catalog. All the artworks in our gallery are located in this catalog. And it's kind of the root of building a virtual art collection where you own the work virtually and casually. Well, this is turning out to be quite an interesting journey. How to best pay for the teachers in a box. I would say it's through my artworks, either actually purchasing them or purchasing what I call Artist Script. I would say also that designing games would be a way we could work online, collaborating on the design of Emeralda. In essence, it comes down to collaboration. So if you sign up for my Patreon page, become a subscriber, then day by day, as long as it takes, we'll work this out by collaboration. After all, as Rosabeth Moss Kanter said, a structure for collaboration is an insurance policy for hope.